I'd like to share with you my latest find. And when I say find, I literally mean find. I was headed to a seminar, had a guy with me, and I noticed off the side of the road there was a bunch of equipment, yard equipment, shop equipment, other things that were drug out in his front yard. It's just all sitting on the side of the road. And I thought, man, there's probably some good stuff there. So we drove back that evening, and it was there. The yard equipment was gone, but the shop equipment was still there. The next day was the last day of the seminar, and we drove by that morning, and it was still there. That evening, still there. I went and dropped him off, changed clothes, went back, tested it, it worked. Loaded it up, brought it home, cleaned it up a little bit, shot some paint on it, and this is a Craftsman 103 21041 8-inch table saw, more than likely from the 60s. It's got all the components here, and it comes with a joiner on the side. I got to get this hooked up. It's not working right now, but pretty delighted about this little thing. And it has no safety features whatsoever. There's no guard, there's no kickback claws, there's no riving knife, there's nothing to protect you at all. Nowadays, you could not sell a saw like this without all of the protection. There's laws in place that you have to have these safety measures. In fact, there is a company that has what they call the saw stop, and it connects with the electricity in your body, and so when you touch that blade, it stops that immediately, and so you don't lose any digits. It's a really, really neat feature. These kind of laws make sense. There are laws in our land that don't make sense, and you wonder why they come about. They seem to be self-defeating at times. This is where we are today in our devotional. Daniel 6:10. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his window being open in his chamber towards Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day, prayed, and gave thanks before God as he did aforetime. And so here you see that there were those in the government that did not like Daniel. They did not like the fact that he was a foreigner. They did not like his God, and they couldn't find anything wrong with him. And so it says they looked to find a fault in his faith, and that's exactly what they did, is they attacked him on his faith. The enemy does not like the Lord. He doesn't like the Lord's people, and so he is going to attack. And this is what they did. The thing is, it did not deter Daniel. He stayed the course. There's been some mandates that have come down over the past couple of years, and people have had to decide which camp are you going to be in. And it seems that Christian people have fallen into a couple of camps, either the Romans 13 camp or the Revelation 13 camp. I would encourage you to read both of those chapters and figure out which camp you're in. And those that had determined ahead of time, just like Daniel had, that they are citizens of heaven, had determined that they're going to obey God rather than man. And so it's made navigating through this not easy, but it's made it a little more clear. Now, if you've not kind of wrestled through this, I would encourage you to really wrestle through what the scriptures say. Don't get offended by what I say. I'm not intending to offend you. I'm intending to challenge you that we might look at Daniel's life and be like Daniel. Be like an individual that really, really stood for God in the midst of a world that was very, very hostile towards God. And as the days unfold, we're going to need more of that strength. So I want to challenge you to look at the scriptures and determine where you stand in light of all that's going on. May God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in.